Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe. 2018 saw the huge WWE returns of Daniel Bryan, Rey Mysterio, Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, The Undertaker, and about 7 different comebacks from Brock Lesnar. Seriously, Brock, can you just leave for more than a month and give us that Universal title back? It also saw the debut of one of Raw's newest top wrestlers, former UFC megastar Ronda Rousey. So what can we expect in 2019? Well, likely more MMA fighters turning up in WWE, and Brock Lesnar still appearing from out of nowhere every few months. But no fear, because that's not all. Here are 10 shocking WWE returns and debuts for 2019 you need to know. Number 10. Daniel Cormier. Surprise, surprise, we start things off with an MMA fighter. Cormier currently holds both the light heavyweight and heavyweight UFC championships, and has long been rumoured to fight Lesnar on the Beast Incarnate's indefinitely postponed return to MMA. But it now appears far more likely that match will happen in a WWE wrestling ring rather than the UFC octagon, as Cormier has given himself a hard retirement date of the 20th of March 2019 when he turns 40. Just several weeks before WrestleMania, and the self-declared wrestling fan has admitted he's interested in working with WWE, and has even attended a tryout. Even if Cormier doesn't come into the promotion as an in-ring wrestler, he might still feature on WWE TV, as Fox reportedly want him as a commentator for SmackDown when the Blue brand moves to their network in October to give the show a more sports-based tone. Number 9. Jason Jordan. Kurt Angle's definitely real life and in no way just stupid storyline illegitimate son Jason Jordan disappeared from WWE TV in February 2018, shortly after losing his and Seth Rollins' Raw Tag Team Championships to The Bar. He was written off TV by his definitely real dad Kurt, sending him home. This was to cover for Jordan's real life neck injury, for which he underwent surgery, but although the operation was considered a success, he hasn't been able to return to the ring. Very little is known about the specifics of his injury, and during his absence, Jordan has been acting as a backstage producer for WWE, presumably in case his in-ring career is over. Jordan seemed optimistic in November though, where he tweeted, "I'm ready to attack this week and make huge improvements. I've been trying to keep my eye on the prize and look at the big picture. I'm still on the road to recovery, and I'm very optimistic about getting back to where I belong." Number 8. Paige VanZant. We managed to go a whole entry without a UFC fighter! Paige VanZant took most of 2018 off after breaking her arm during a fight in January. She's scheduled to return to the octagon on January 19th in the flyweight division. VanZant is a self-proclaimed WWE superfan, and even said last year of WWE, "I think it's an amazing organization and I'd definitely love to work with them." According to Dave Meltzer, she was actually scheduled to appear at SummerSlam 2016, off the back of her runner-up performance in Dancing with the Stars, but she pulled out to focus on an upcoming fight. Number 7. Walter. Walter is a 6'4", 310-pound Austrian wrestler who won practically every European indie promotion's top title in 2018, and who Luke, Laurie and I ranked at number 2 in our Best Wrestlers of the Year list. You might not have heard his name, but you've likely heard his chops, because they're so loud they've ripped holes in the space-time continuum. While he hasn't been officially announced by WWE yet, many sites have reported Walter is signed with their NXT UK offshoot, as he's happy living in Europe and doesn't want to travel to Orlando for WWE's American NXT shows. There's speculation, however, that he might appear on the occasional US takeover event, and perhaps he'll be the one to finally dethrone Pete Dunne from his long reign as WWE UK champion. Number 6. The Young Bucks. After putting on their own record-breaking wrestling show with All In on September 1st, 2018, the Young Bucks 2019 could be even more interesting. Not just for them as performers, but also for the wrestling business as a whole. The Bucks ROH and New Japan contracts expired on the 31st of December 2018, and it's been widely reported that they'll now be starting their own wrestling promotion called All Elite Wrestling, along with Cody Rhodes and the rest of the Being the Elite crew like Kenny Omega, Omega and Hangman Page, which is to be financed by millionaire Tony Khan. However, if AEW doesn't secure the all-important TV deal, there's only one other promotion in town offering the biggest bucks: WWE, which Matt and Nick have teased a move to on YouTube. Number 5. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. In terms of WWE returns, it doesn't get much bigger than the highest paid movie actor of 2017, Rock the Dwayne Johnson. Well, I guess you could have the 2018 one. While the Dwayne's last official WWE match was a 6-second squash of Eric Rowan at WrestleMania 32, it's more appropriate to consider his WrestleMania 29 loss to John Cena as his WWE swan song. Until now! According to the very reliable WrestleVotes, Rock was in talks with WWE to win the 2019 Royal Rumble match and face Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania 35. These plans were being discussed before Roman was sadly diagnosed with leukemia, but that doesn't mean Rock's return to WWE has been scrapped. Some sites still claim he's scheduled to return one last time at WrestleMania 35, depending on his hectic movie schedule, in a SummerSlam 2002 rematch against Universal Champion Brock Lesnar. This is rumored to be in conjunction with a Hall of Fame induction in 2019. Number 4. Cody Rhodes. Cody hasn't wrestled for WWE since 2016, where he was granted his release from the company due to creative frustrations. And it turns out asking for his release was the best thing that ever happened to him. In just 2 years, Cody has become one of the biggest stars on the independent scene. A featured performer at the top of New Japan, winning the ROH Heavyweight Championship, and his most celebrated achievement, winning the NWA title on his own record-breaking All-In show. Cody is apparently back on WWE's radar with his ROH contract now expired, revealing they contacted him to return to the promotion in late 2018. Of course, just like the Young Bucks, Cody returning to WWE relies on their new AEW promotion not working out, and he did say he turned down their offer. But then again, that's exactly what he would say if he was returning to WWE. Number 3. Batista. Batista is the most likely person to return to WWE on this list, as he's already set up a big-time feud with Triple H. And Hunter ain't giving up his annual 30-minute match spot at WrestleMania, no matter how many torn pectoral muscles he's got to recover from. Big Dave appeared on WWE TV for the first time in 4 years in a special return for SmackDown's 1000th episode on October 16th to celebrate famed Raw faction Evolution. No, it didn't make much sense. But WWE doesn't have to when you get awesomely tense angles like the stare down between Batista and Triple H. This was reportedly to set up a WrestleMania 35 match between the two, but Hunter tore his pectoral muscles several weeks later, potentially ruling him out of the biggest show of the year. While it's possible WWE could find Batista another opponent, he's been very vocal about wanting to retire after a feud with Triple H specifically, and with him turning 50 next year and his Hollywood career continuing to build, it might be Hunter or nothing. Number 2. Kenny Omega. Another year! Another list video saying Kenny Omega might leave New Japan and sign with WWE. Just like every other year, Kenny's New Japan contract reportedly expires near the end of January. But now he's finally captured the promotion's top title, winning the IWGP Heavyweight Championship from Kazuchika Okada in June in a 7-star match. He might be looking at new frontiers to conquer. Like the Bucks and Cody though, Omega seems set for the new AEW promotion. But also like those wrestlers, it all depends on if the company gets off the ground. If he loses his title to Hiroshi Tanahashi at Wrestle Kingdom 13 and AEW fails to secure a TV deal, Omega could very well turn towards WWE. Number 1. Conor McGregor. UFC megastar Conor McGregor is one of the biggest box office draws in the world, mainly because he does wrestling angles in real life, like jumping into rival promotions' cages and shoving the referee, or throwing a dolly at a bus with his blood feud rival on. Sure, he might have called WWE superstars messed up pussies back in 2016, but that's actually a smokescreen for his lifelong passion for professional wrestling. Not only does he follow many WWE stars on Twitter, he's also developed an online online tag team with Becky Lynch. As Lynch once posted, "The man channels no one. Conor McGregor and me are bonded as Irish brother and sister. But if I ever got within 2 miles of him, I'd break that bond and his arm in 3 short seconds. It'd be too tempting. He'd completely understand too. Proper 12 after." To which McGregor said, "Call me when you need proper backup," for Becky to seemingly invite him to WrestleMania 35. Cheers, Conor. I'm carrying 2 divisions at the moment, but you know exactly how that is. I hear New York is nice in the spring though. McGregor has been linked to WWE multiple times in the past, and Barnburner's sources reckon he'll be booked for Lynch's corner for her match against Ronda Rousey at WrestleMania. What about all the biggest WWE rumours for 2019 you need to know? Click the video on screen now to find them out, and give us a subscribe to keep up to date with all the latest wrestling news. I've been Oli Davis, and that was wrestling.